Welcome agents. Today I've got a culmination of numerous things you would have likely missed over the last week or so, which includes the Division 2 Ciphertext that had been found and decoded, a new build your character graphic from Ubisoft detailing everything from perks, skills, quality of gear, recalibration, all of that good stuff, character creation, and a lot more. If you enjoy this video, please hit the like button below, subscribe for dedicated Division content, and turn on notifications to ensure you never miss any of my videos. With that said, let's get to it. Okay, so I've got lots of different pieces of news to cover in this video. First up is an interview with Julian Garrity had with PCGamesN.com, and this was about a month ago. In this interview, Julian talks about character creation, something we know very little about because until now, we've only been able to randomize our character in their entirety. This is what he had to say. First off, we're going to give players much more control over the creation of their characters. In the first game, you could only choose your head, some scars, and some sunglasses that you can never really remove afterwards. Here we're going to give you sliders so that you're able to define tiny things about your character, so the person on screen really looks like who you want to play as. Of course, you'll have a lot of vanity options so you can change things like piercings, glasses, face paints, and clothing too. So, there isn't a whole lot here, but it's summer. Some people were concerned that the random feature we've seen so far in the betas were a permanent feature, and this should really go a long way to clearing that up. Next up is definitely the most interesting, and that's the ciphertext which has been found in the game. So far, 5 have been found, 3 in the beta open world and 2 found in Division 2 trailers. Now you might be asking what ciphertext is or what it might look like. Check out this example found in the open world during the beta. As you can see, this can be found on the National Portrait Gallery in downtown East 100918, facing East 9th Street Northwest between F Street Northwest and G Street Northwest. That was a bit of a mouthful. And it's worth noting, none of this is my work. All of this can be found on Reddit, and much more talented people have figured this out. Post it there for anyone to sort of get involved, so please do. I will leave the link to the original thread below. So ciphertext is the little squiggly lines next to the graffiti. It's probably the best way that I can describe it. This particular one was the first to be found back on February 10th in the private beta and was decoded only a few hours later. And it reads, from the south to the north, artists hurried to answer the call of rich patrons who wanted their portraits painted only to have their work rot in a gallery. And this was deciphered using this cipher. Now, I have no idea what this riddle means, but if any of you do, please leave it in the comments below or head on over to Reddit, the Division subreddit, and post it there. Let's move on to the other ones. Next, we have Simeon, which is located on, I think it's Simeon, which is located on Webster School, and you can see the location in the image. This ciphertext says, East Mall Sculptures, push pavilion button, gather round the tree to bring cheer and light in the darkest night. Now this to me points to a series of things or actions you have to do in order to trigger summer. On screen is an image of the East Mall area within the game and its border. Now I did some searching online and the only thing I could find that might refer to this is the Pavilion Cafe at the Sculpture Garden. This would fit, so it seems you might have to find a button to press on one of these sculptures and then find some tree to gather around. It would appear you need to do this at night as well. I could be completely wrong here, but let's move on. Next one, named Police and found at the National Bank of Washington. The cipher reads, the music in the atrium. You first saw the hunter is on a sliding scale. Aim high, end low, and you'll soon be there. Every good boy does skip the fine. Absolutely no idea what that means, but this Redditor said, every good boy does fine is a piano mnemonic, and there is a piano directly after the atrium in the Grand Washington Hotel. Not sure if these are connected. I've been shooting the EGBD keys avoiding F in various ways, but no result. It appears you may want to start here for this one when the game launches, but I just have no idea about this one. Moving on to the next one. This can be found in a video called Making Graffiti in the Division 2, which you can find by searching on YouTube, and I'd recommend it because it's actually very interesting. At this point, the location is unknown, but the ciphertext says, when orange water waves at night, the Pontomac camp will find relief. Lastly, we have Unite, located at the Washington Monument, and the ciphertext reads, scan for lost souls, find the time to pay respects. Souls honoured, after dark return to the first monument and release another. Now, when I read scan for lost souls, this reminds me of Echoes. The rest of it, I'm not really sure at all. Those are the 5 found so far, and I'm sure there will be a lot more to come. This reminds me of the secret mission within the Division, so when the game launches very soon, get out there and find the rest. I know I will be trying to. If you do find any more, make sure you head on over to Reddit and post it on the Division subreddit so we can all get involved in solving these riddles. And if you have any suggestions for the ones I've already mentioned, leave them below or head over to the Reddit after this video. Let's move on. Okay, so next up is a graphic release from Ubisoft which showcases how you build your character and prepare for Endgame. A lot of these things you will already know, I imagine, but it's worth briefly going over this to refresh your memory as it gives you a sort of good summary of each subheading. Starting from the top left, we have perks, which are passive benefits once unlocked and or always active. Most perks will have upgrades which need to be unlocked in order. A good example of this in the graphic is the inventory perk, which once fully upgraded increases your inventory size by 30. Other perks can affect item carry capacity as well, for example grenades, armor kits, but also crafting materials and resource items. These perks can be unlocked at the quartermaster in the base of operations by spending shade tech. Moving just below, we have skills. First we have skill platforms, of which there are 8 in the game, by completing skill unlock missions. The skills available are Pulse, Drone, Chem Launcher, Hive, Seeker Mine, Turret, Firefly and Shield, 4 of which we've got to experience within the open beta. Each skill will have 3 or 4 skill variants with very different characteristics, from repairing abilities to area of effect attacks, and these can be unlocked using shade tech. Skills will also have skill mods, which are items found through loot and dedicated to each skill platform. These skill mods enhance these skills, for example increasing range or damage, but they will require your character to have a certain amount of skill power. Moving on to player equipment, and we've got multiple subheadings: quality, mods, talents and gear slots and brands. Just like the Division, we have 5 different tiers of quality: worn, standard, specialized, superior and high-end. Let's not forget there is exotic gear and weapons, but these will only provide a unique visual difference. Weapon mods are different this time around because they are not sort of a loot drop, but instead unlocked. Each weapon mod will have both a passive and negative stat. For example, an extended mag will give you plus 30 rounds, but a minus 10% rate of fire. There will be weapon mod blueprints in the game, and as of right now I believe there is a blueprint for every single item within the game, so every weapon will have a blueprint. Gear mods are different. These drop just like normal loot, and just like the Division, adhere to the same quality rules and can be attached to gear with empty gear mod slots. Gear mods can provide stats like grenade damage or increased kill experience, and do not have negative drawbacks like the weapon mods. Next up we have talents, which are powerful effects and only activate once you fulfill their stated requirements. We then have gear and gear slots, of which there are 6: mask, backpack, vest, gloves, holster and knee pads. Each piece of gear comes with an armor stat, and once depleted you will fall very quickly, as you've probably experienced already if you've played the beta. Moving on to prepare for Endgame, first up we have recalibration, which I've spoken about before, but for anyone who missed it, recalibration will be very different this time around. At the recalibration bench you can choose to change a stat or talent on any item you want to upgrade, exchanging it with a tap from an item in their inventory, or in your inventory might I say. You will need to pay credits and materials to do this. The item the stat is transferred from is destroyed after recalibration. The 2 pieces of gear will need to be from the same family, and you can only recalibrate 1 stat per item, but this can be switched out indefinitely. We then have specializations. Once you reach Endgame at level 30, you can unlock the 3 specializations: Sharpshooter, Survivalist and Demolitionist. Each one comes with a signature weapon. For example, the Sharpshooter gets access to a 50 caliber sniper. These weapons are powerful, and each comes with its own skill tree, which has skill variants, grenade types and talents that synergize with the specialization playstyle theme. Next up, we have gear score. At level 30, all gear and weapons will be powered, or their power will be indicated by its gear score, and an agent's overall gear score will represent their loadout power. You will be able to increase your gear score by engaging in endgame activities that provide loot drops. Participating in more difficult activities, i.e. main missions or bounties on a higher difficulty, will give you a higher chance of loot that will increase your gear score. The endgame is organised by world tiers, and each tier has a maximum gear score. You will need to move up the world tiers by defeating the world tier challenge in order for you to access the next gear score bracket. The max gear score for world tier 1 is 300, world tier 2 is 350, world tier 3 400 and world tier 4 is 450. Lastly, we have crafting, which will require 2 components: blueprints and materials. Crafting will be very useful as you go through the campaign, allowing you to make gear higher than what would drop in the world naturally. This is also the main way for you to get weapon mods. As of right now, I believe there is 180 blueprints within the game, and this figure will likely increase through the game's life cycle. Okay, so I did a lot of talking here, so let's move on to a new trailer. This was released a couple of days ago, and it's called the Division 2 Echo Experience. Take a look.
Agent, as you must know, the world has collapsed. A smallpox hybrid has been released around the world, decimating a great part of mankind and shutting down every source of information. Understanding what happened during those 7 months is key to survive. By using data collected from phone calls, surveillance cameras, and discarded smartphones, I'm able to project augmented reality recreations of prior events that occurred at your location.
Kill it! I can't! I'm scared of shooting you!
We call them echoes. Echoes are all around you. They recount what happened near your grocery store.
Going somewhere?
No,
we're not.
No, we're not.
Your school.
1, 2. What's happening?
And even your local gas station.
Be quick.
Okay, good. It's working.
Discovering Echo will unlock rewards. Rewards that in a few weeks will help ensure your survival.
As you have just saw, this experience is a unique digital and immersive augmented reality that will take users of the Division 2 via an app on your phone. Now, while you unlock the Echo stories, you will unlock exclusive rewards and in-game items that will be available from the Ubisoft Club at launch. If you wish to participate, you will need to go to m.me/The Division Game on your phone, where you'll be able to find a dedicated app available exclusively via Messenger. Do you own an Amazon Alexa? Well, if you do, you can now access the Shade database by just saying, Alexa, open the Division network, which will uncover audio logs, mysterious backstories, and more. It's a very cool little promotion with Amazon for anyone who really wants to get every single bit of lore for this game. So there you go, guys. Only 4 days left to go before early access. I cannot guarantee I will be streaming as soon as this goes live because I need to respect the better half who will probably be sleeping at that time. But my intentions are to stream, but I may have to keep my voice down a little bit. Now, it would be great to see you all in the stream and get the hype train moving. As of right now, I'm not 100% sure if it will be a 1 minute past 12 release for every single person, or whether it will be dependent on where you are, as in staggered depending on where you are in the world. I am making investigations with Ubisoft at the moment, and once I know, I will leave a community post for you guys. Anyway, I'm done rambling. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, and until the next one, Epic out.